Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between DeMiGoD versus Ze1Ko. This game taking place here on Northern Isle. Ze1Ko has spawned as the teal human player over here on the bottom left hand side of the map, and well, players who like to frustrate casters, that's what I'll remember these two players as right now, as they choose teal and blue on Northern Isle. Alright, so my apologies if I have a difficult time keeping track of them on the minimap. Teal on ice, very difficult to spot. Blue in water, very difficult to spot, which Northern Isle has plenty of. Good thing there is, an observer in the match, that way we can, only limited to Fog of War. If only there was a way to have a standard observer mode in WarCraft 3 replays. Oh, the technology is just not there yet. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down in this matchup. DeMiGoD going to be opening up with a Farseer. No surprise there, as there is no barracks. Single Orc burrow being placed down, and we should be looking at a very fast tech to tier 2. Coming back here on the opposite side of the map, Ze1Ko opening up with an Archmage. This is going to be a classic battle of the brains, as it is intellect hero versus intelligence hero as well. What is going down on this, or going down in this matchup? That is the question. And how will these players really be trying to play and push their opponent? We are looking at a scouting footman, and this game is underway. There is a war mill being placed down. There's that tech to tier 2. A tech to tier 2 even before the Farseer is out. Hey, it works. Great news. Yes, the other game did not work though, Metaphysics. I think it was the Krav game, and even I've been trying to find perhaps just a map issue. I don't know. So yeah, don't know what to say there. Perhaps W3 Champions updated one, or the Amazonia map, and therefore it's not quite the same. Anyways, Farseer now making its way down off to the other side of the map. Archmage dropping a water elemental and will now be able to clear out this Ogre Warrior creep camp. Let's go ahead and make sure all these units are coming back the other way. I really wish the NetEase client is actually a very, very strong client for Warcraft 3. If you try to watch a replay you don't have, the NetEase client actually, on a map you don't have, it actually tries to download that map, so to try and resolve some of those issues. So not quite sure why that can't be done for Warcraft 3, for the actual official BattleNet version. But I guess, well, technology just isn't there. That who's going to get the last shot? There you go. Archmage gets a little bit more experience. Meanwhile, damage is getting added in. The Murloc Flesh Eater going after the flesh of that Farseer, riding on that gigantic wolf, as we're still looking at a nice more damage. It's a burn, but it's also an honest critique at this point. Not being able to have a true observer mode unless there is an observer in the match in a replay. Those things, the technology is there, and it would just be such a good quality of life improvement for casters like me. But then again, there aren't many casters like me out there, so I don't expect them to cater to me. But it is something that I know I would very much love and enjoy. Anyways, Footman now going to go ahead and engage here. Spirit Wolf taking a little bit of damage here. Farseer, well, Farseer still putting in a lot of that pressure. Does have a bit of experience, as that Spirit Wolf is now making a pushback. A player from Iran, by the way. Nice. All right, so a player from Iran coming in here, and in this Reforged League Season 2 Group A. And it is nice to see just more and more players just engaging again, as the Archmage does get to level 2. All right, Farseer looking to put a pull back once more. There is a lone grunt out onto the field here, and we can see that the barracks is now done, and an Altar of Storms is training up that Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, that stun, the new stun durations will be drastically decreased, and I think that was an absolute necessary thing to have. Being able to essentially stun lock your opponent's heroes between Hex and Stomp was just too powerful of an ability. Being able to go from one to another, back to the other, and being able to shut down your opponent. Alright, we're looking at Water Elementals now being dropped into position. Water Elementals trying to get into a little bit more damage. Farseer trying to get that item. Is it going to be able to do so? No, it does not. It actually left behind the sentry wards there temporarily. The Murlocs got in the way, and I think that was a grave misstep by Ze1Ko. All right. Great Orc is going to be nearly... Great Orc is going to be unplayable. Really? You think Tauren Chieftain at level 5 needing to stun lock heroes, that's what's necessary to make Orc good? If that's the only thing going for Orc, then well I think Orc has other knobs and other ways to be improved, rather than just having Hex and Stomp stun locking as that main ability. Archmage purposely backing away. Mountain King will not get there in time though, as the Mountain King will be just shy of level 2. Even well, it may actually be able to get there, as the Mountain King is going to finish off 2 more Ice Troll Priests. No, going to be about, maybe was that 20 experience shy? No, 10 experience shy now. Mountain King is sitting at level 1. Farseer is back out onto the field using a Clarity Potion, but accidentally running straight into an Archmage, as these two are going to be engaging. All right, there goes a Water Elemental now down, as well as DeMiGoD being forced to pull back. Tauren Chieftain off to the side, and there's a Stormbolt on DeMiGoD's Farseer. Farseer could have a lot of troubles, as it is once again being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away. Well, not the only thing, but a massive one, I would say. Well, yeah, let's just say that if Orc could only win battles because they were able to stun lock their opponent's heroes, Orc needs improvements in other categories. That is absolutely certain. I'm really hoping that the players find a way to balance things out more than just having what Blizzard and constantly trying to balance things a little bit more and more. All right, we're looking at the Spirit Wolves trying to dive on in here. Priest needs to back away. There is a little bit of poison going down, as an ensnare also goes down onto this Priest here. Raiders, the first units out, but we've seen Human versus Orc in this matchup, and actually some players going for Shaman for the Purge, and then also going for Kodo Beast early on for the Devour. That Devour very effective against, well, Footmen and eventually Spellbreakers, who should be joining in on this fight eventually. All right, there's another Priest followed by that Spellbreaker. That's exactly what I'm expecting to see here. Militia also being called into this creep camp far away, as the Mountain King will get to level 3. Archmage still playing a little bit of a game here, trying to put in pressure. Raiders and Shaman off to the back here. And as this strategy continues, or as this pressure continues, we'll look if whether or not the Tauren Chieftain is able to finish off these creep camps. Tauren Chieftain really wants to get to level 3, and it looks like it should be able to do exactly that. But there it goes. There's level 3, and now finally finishing off this Ice Troll High Priest. Shamans, Raiders, still wandering around on the backside here. Archmage going up, going to clear out the Overlords on the northern part of Northern Isle once more, and there are a good amount of creep camps and gold mines on this map. And we'll see when expansions are going to be coming into play. It looks like both sides are content with trying to stay around high 40 supply range and staying in low upkeep. Spellbreakers correctly try and escape away here. Raiders now coming down. We're going to be looking at the Spellbreaker. This one Spellbreaker trying to fight its way back, but it knows that it is not long for this world. Instead, the Spellbreaker is getting in a little bit of damage on that Raider before it gets taken down. All right, Tauren Chieftain going after the 544 creep camp close to Ze1Ko's base. And now going to be able to pick up, what is that, should be a decent item, and perhaps get to level 3 on that Farseer. No, not going to be able to do that, as the Farseer was just simply too far behind. We're looking at, well, creeping out your opponent's side of the map. All of the heroes and all of the units are actually rallied to stay inside the base right now, as that is a smart call by Ze1Ko, making sure that he does not, well, lose any more units in transit. Archmage going to try and make its way down. We're going to see the Arcane Vault getting pressured here in just a moment. There's Kodo Beast out onto the field. A second Kodo Beast should be added in here in just a moment. No, that is going to be a Raider. A Priest and a Water Elemental being left left behind here. That's not what you want to be seeing, as we're looking at Ze1Ko losing a little bit of control there. All right, Altar of Kings going to get pressured here. Archmage is here, and now we're going to be fighting in this narrow choke point. There goes a Purge onto the Water Elemental, as Lightning Shield followed by a Stomp could be coming in. Wand of Wind being used right there. Tauren Chieftain going to go ahead. There's that Stomp again. Are we going to see Lightning Shield go down onto that Tauren Chieftain? We don't see that as of yet. A couple ensnares, and DeMiGoD just absolutely taking down the entire back line of all of those units. Farseer now engaging again. Mountain King finally comes in with a Thunderclap, and his presence is quickly made known, as well as that Mountain King, well, trying to fight back here. Lightning Shield onto the Tauren Chieftain. All these militia, they need to back away, as the Lightning Shield is going to end up eating them alive here, as another Kodo Beast shows up onto the battlefield. All right, is the Kodo Beast going to try to eat anything? That is the question right there. Mountain King Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer going to get taken down. It gets taken down right there. There's a follow-up Thunderclap, as well as the Mountain King needs to get a little bit more mana. All right, a little bit more mana, and it should be able to Stormbolt that. Nope, unable to Stormbolt, as the Goblin Zeppelin picks up all of the units, and there is another massive retreat. All right, more damage coming across here. Farseer, Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Farseer down to 228 hit points. It doesn't have much life already. Slow already on that Farseer. Farseer going to get picked up right there. Tauren Chieftain, well, in amongst all of the units here, but close to the Spellbreakers. A Stomp only affecting even that Archmage a little bit too far away, as the Spellbreakers are still trying to fight here. Raiders are trying to back up. No, not, well, Exemplary, Goblin, Micro. There's a bunch of low hit point units that should be picked up, as look as though that Raider going to get taken down. There it goes, as that, well, Zeppelin could have picked it up much sooner. Mountain King still trying to fight its way through. A lot of casters are in here. 49 supply compared to 44. Finally, Scroll of Town Portal in order to escape. Are all of these units going to be able to back out? Yes, they will. Low hit point Grunt was stunned, but was not finished off, as the Goblin Zeppelin, well, going to clear up some space once more. All right, there's a Kodo Beast. There is a Spellbreaker in the belly. The Spellbreaker reporting back everything it has seen. But that is pretty much it. Natural, well, yeah, just trying to push your opponent into an unfavorable corner as the fight is getting underway. 48 supply compared to 49. It looks as though the Archmage is going to try and clear out the Magnetar Reaver or Red Creep Camp on the top left. This is a dangerous creep camp to try and clear. But it looks like this will be cleared without any real issues, giving the Archmage level 4 and level 2 Brilliance Aura. Spellbreakers in that frontline spot. There's only 2 priests and a whole bunch of sorceresses in this battle. A little bit of a surprise here, as we should be looking at more Bloodlust getting added in for the remaining units. Magnetar Reaver actually with chaos damage, not dealing as much damage to those Spellbreakers as normal damage would have perhaps already finished them off. Chaos damage, however, deals full damage to absolutely everything, as a Mountain King with Cloak of Flames is very scary. Archmage may want to just use that Scroll of Town Portal to get away. Yes, Initiator right there. All the units are going to be turning back as well, as there they go. Peasant making its way back here. Goblin Zeppelin here having a couple of units in that in the Zeppelin. A Grunt, a Shaman, and a Spirit Wolf. Well, that sounds like the beginning of a bad WarCraft 3 joke. A Shaman, a Grunt, and a Spirit Wolf go into a Goblin Zeppelin. And yeah, I don't know how to finish that story. Archmage sitting at level 4. Mountain King sitting at level 4. Tauren Chieftain just shy of 4, as we're going to see a little bit more creeping getting underway here. All right, let's, well, sorry, Tauren Chieftain, yeah, just shy of level 4. And in comes the Shaman here. What is going on? It is a lone Grunt, and this is Lightning Shield trying to finish off a couple of these units. That one Grunt, well, the Militia trying to fight back, and this is a very interesting use of this Lightning Shield, as we're seeing so much damage being done right there. There is a Lightning Shield once again being cast. It does not actually provide any sort of actual armor, but the overall effect is still very strong here, as we're looking at the Grunt trying to get into position here, perhaps going after some of those remaining units. Low hit point Militia all along the backside. Are we going to see the Goblin Zeppelin? Yes, pick up all of those units here. Meanwhile, well, a Water Elemental trying to take down or deal damage to that Great Hall while it is still under construction. Mountain King absorbing a lot of damage here. Cloak of Flames, however, very effective at just dealing damage standing next to that Mountain King, as the Mountain King gonna get to perhaps 430 mana here in just a second with that, no, 445 mana on a Mountain King with double Cloak of Flames. Cloak of Flames does not stack it does not stack with Immolation. So, and well, it should also say does not stack with Cloak of Flames. As we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer looking to, well, jump to the skies again. All right, Grunt down. Well, you need to make much more room to pick up 2 Kodo Beasts. They take up 2 slots in that Goblin Zeppelin, as the Mountain King has really taken a very, very aggressive stance here. Cloak of Flames dropped. This Archmage should pick up this Cloak of Flames. Not quite sure why it isn't doing so. That is a very expensive item. Double Cloak of Flames dropping that Circlet of Nobility, and perhaps we are looking now to drop inside. Well, off over here. No lightning shield off on these units. Did the Kodo Beast just try and eat a whole bunch of things and then escape out? Wow, that Goblin Zeppelin down to 221 hit points could have been taken out if there was any sort of air unit to keep track. Meanwhile, Shaman's finishing off that one particular water elemental. We have plenty of watchtowers in position now to keep track and keep this base up and running. All right, long distance mining. These peasants or peons, where are they going? There is a great hall right here that they can just mine from. It looks like DeMiGoD's peons are going to walk all the way back, completely unnecessary. As well, another Goblin Zeppelin getting picked up. All right, a little bit of transfer right there, hiring up a second Goblin Zeppelin and making this Goblin Zeppelin seem as though it is going to be trying for some sort of drop. And that is a beautiful idea and a beautiful play here. One Goblin Zeppelin, well, in position to try and keep track and force a little bit of a play here. However, it is going to end up getting away down to 87 hit points, down to 43, 19 hit points, and it looks like it will end up surviving. The Mountain King and Ze1Ko are just chasing after a completely empty Goblin Zeppelin right there, buying time for things to happen over here at the other neck of the woods. DeMiGoD is running up on 2 bases. Meanwhile, Ze1Ko has the stronger army. There is fortified towers off over here by DeMiGoD. DeMiGoD is currently a little bit low on gold and doesn't want to break into low upkeep yet. He is having almost a triple economy over his opponent. 20 gold a second compared to 7 gold a second as the repairs are now underway. All right, in comes the Spellbreakers trying to dive on in. Massive repairs coming back across. We're looking at damage coming in. Mountain King just going to say, you know what? I'll stand right next to you and I'll clap, and what are you going to do about it? As the peon's now being forced to back away here. No easy way to try and defend. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain, Chain Lightning, Farseer putting in all the pressure inside the main base. All right, Farseer gets up to level 4. It is now out of mana after summoning some Spirit Wolves. And what is going on here? Trading a main base for an expansion. DeMiGoD going to lose this expansion here. Meanwhile, the main base of Ze1Ko could end up getting taken out. Are we looking at any sort of pillage? It looks like there is. It looks like there could be pillage. I'm not 100% sure, as the Tauren Chieftain is just continuing to finish off more and more units. Are we going to see a Scroll of Town Portal escape? I do believe so. There we go. There goes another Raider once more, and everything teleporting back. All right. Looking at Ze1Ko's worker count, there is currently only 1 worker anywhere. All of Ze1Ko's peasants have been taken out. He's looking at a 49 supply. 48 of that is army, and he needs to continue to train up more units. Back on the other side here, we are looking at still plenty of mining coming in from DeMiGoD. We are still, well, mining here for DeMiGoD at the natural expansion. The Great Hall was not taken down. And, well, these war of attritions are just going to start taking a very big toll. DeMiGoD, however, is going to realize how far behind he is in terms of, well, items, as both the Archmage and the Mountain King have picked up very, very expensive items by clearing out both corners of the creep camp here, as a Raider now taken out in transit. Archmage gets up to level 5 from that Raider. Goblin Zeppelin, well, Goblin Zeppelin flying overhead, going to perhaps try and do another drop inside of the main base. Meanwhile, we are looking at Spellbreakers doing a little bit of a fight back here. There are Kodo Beasts. The Kodo Beast could just try and eat some of those units, as another Kodo Beast is slowly being digested. Flying Machines finally in the air, causing problems. Goblin Zeppelin going to go ahead and try and drop. There you go. We're going to see the Tauren Chieftain drop. Lightning Shield. There's a stomp right there. No Lightning Shield onto that Tauren Chieftain. The Shaman actually enjoying the Lightning Shield a little bit too much, perhaps, as he stands right there. Flying Machine gonna shoot down that Goblin Zeppelin, as there is that tactical retreat, finally using air to deal with that, well, constant harass. We're looking at Witch Doctor's placing down sentry wards all across the map. Kodo Beast is going to finish digesting one of those units, and this Kodo Beast, well, forcing his opponent into high upkeep as well, as it is slowly being digested. You almost kind of wish, like, no, leave the Spellbreaker alive and keep my opponent at relatively low economy, as it is representing a loss of 3 gold a second. All right, Kodo Beast down to 400 hit points. It looks like it's going to try and get away. It may not be able to do exactly that. Going to try and walk all the way back. Where is the rest of the army, and why was that Kodo Beast so far? That is the question. Meanwhile, Mountain King comes in with a Thunderclap, and it is a bad day to be a worker or a peon on this map, as this Kodo Beast trying to head back again still. All right, plenty of damage coming back across the other side. There goes another Thunderclap, as more and more peons are getting lost on both sides again. But this Kodo Beast has room in its belly, but nowhere to eat, as there goes that Kodo Beast down. Meanwhile, back on the other side here, more workers. Lightning Shield onto that Priest. The Priest trying to heal up all of those units. Chain Lightning bouncing around on the inside once more, as another Lightning Shield, as they are mining, going back and forth, going to end up killing off more and more of those peasants again. All right, Lightning Shield on that gold mine line, causing so much damage, as the Spirit Wolves are trying to break their way through and inside. This is a crazy harassment game indeed. All of the workers are constantly lost, getting taken out, and it looks like no one will be mining in about in a couple of minutes. All right, workers are in the backfield. Spirit Wolves trying to dive on in, trying to finish off. More Chain Lightning bouncing around again. Farseer, Tauren Chieftain almost at level 5. Gonna go ahead and finish off another Priest there. Almost at level 5. Needs 3 more experience, but the Scroll of Town Portal now being brought in. 45 supply compared to 39, as we see one Shaman getting left behind there. Level 5 Archmage, level 5 Mountain King. There is a ninja expansion by DeMiGoD over here on the bottom right hand side of the map. If it is not scouted out, that is going to be a big play indeed, as the main bases only have about a minute of mining left, and still plenty of mining, considering that Ze1Ko has not been able to do full saturation throughout this entire time. Scouting Spellbreaker wandering around across the map again. Flying Machine does scout out this Great Hall. It is no longer mining mining in secret, as a Spellbreaker going to be joining in right here. All right, Ze1Ko and this Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is definitely not going to be able to do any damage in that fight here, as the Spellbreaker makes its way across once more. All right, Goblin Sappers, however, coming down in from the north, going to perhaps wait until all of the focus on the other side. The keep is down to 1,100 hit points. The Goblin Sappers need to separate. DeMiGoD needs to be very careful. You do not want to lose one set of Goblin Sappers to another set right there, as we're going to see in comes the damage again. Tauren Chieftain, Chain Lightning bouncing around. Level 5 now on the Tauren Chieftain. The keep is now down to 260 some odd hit points. No Lightning Shield, however, as the Tauren Chieftain should be able to get off another stomp here in just a second. Another stomp should be enough to stop all of the peasants from repairing, and there it goes. One more shot. There is the tactical retreat. Thunderclap not going to be enough, as the Goblin Zeppelin retreats back out. All right, Ze1Ko with no economy whatsoever, and now no way to mine any additional gold, is going to have to force to sell items in order to build a town hall anywhere. Meanwhile, we are looking at a new town hall being built off to the north, even though this one is currently under a little bit of duress. 39 supply compared to 46. DeMiGoD has the smaller army overall, though, as it is 29 supply army compared to 37. Raiders now trying to retreat back. Mountain King is invisible. Units are in a massive run. Farseer trying to heal up all of these units and get away. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers down here doing a little bit of damage to this Great Hall. All right, Peon off over here. Not going to complete. DeMiGoD's Great Hall off to the north is going to get taken down and canceled. There is a bit of refund on that gold, as these Spellbreakers, will they be able to retreat? We should be looking at ensnares. Where are the ensnares to try and get a little bit of that advantage once more? All right, one ensnare, and that was it. The Tauren Chieftain going after the remaining units. There goes another ensnare on the remaining 2. This Spellbreaker will get taken down, and it's going to be a matter of time before, these other Spellbreakers will get lost as well. Ze1Ko cannot afford to lose units like this, as you see the ensnares now go down. Tauren Chieftain gladly taking a little bit of that damage, as 2 more Spellbreakers Spellbreakers will be lost. All right, well, are they going to try and retreat here? Yes, we are. Mountain King, Stormbolt going to finish off a couple of units. There goes a Raider. There goes another Thunderclap. Raider is absolutely slowed and clapped and gets taken out. That trade becomes even. 43 supply compared to 38 as the Spirit Wolves are in their Shadow Wolf form. Spellbreakers, do they have control magic? That is going to be an important question to ask, as DeMiGoD is going to not be able to mine either. All right, DeMiGoD losing this expansion over here on the bottom right. A new, expansion being built off to the north. Who's going to come out on top? 31 supply compared to 25 in terms of just sheer army. DeMiGoD actually having 19 peons still. That's representing a very large amount of his overall population. All right, Spirit Wolves, Raiders now going after the Arcane Vault, perhaps going to try and finish off the remainder of these buildings. And there are not many buildings left inside the human base. Is it going to turn into a straight up base race? That is going to be the question, as even long distance mining is going to be relatively effective. All right, we see an ensnare. Flying Machine perhaps going to get taken out. Are we going to see a leveling up? No, we are not. Still not quite close enough for the Orc army to level up. Meanwhile, the Mountain King is getting close to 6. They have control magic. All right. A peasant going to get taken down. There goes another unit. And, well, is the Mountain King going to be able to do very much here? Troll Bat Rider is in position. Stormbolt onto the Troll Bat Rider, but only level 3 Thunderclap, not level 3 Stormbolt, allowing the Bat Rider to escape. Hey, how are you doing? So far, this has been an extremely close game. Archmage, Mountain King, if they both get to level 6, ultimate abilities will be unlocked. Meanwhile, a lone water elemental here trying to get in some damage once more. This Great Hall may actually end up getting taken down. That water elemental damage is actually very, very high. And, well, DeMiGoD looks like it is going to be able to force a cancellation on this Great Hall. Is it actually going to... Yeah, there is a cancellation right there. First game today, maybe the only game today, as this game doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Troll Bat Rider about to get taken down once more. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 5. Farseer sitting at level 5. Stormbolt onto a Shaman. Shaman, well, going to get follow-up bash or attacked and taken out by that 1-2 punch, giving level 6 to that Mountain King. Raiders, oh wait, retraining. Tauren Chieftain retrains to Shockwave, and now with Shockwave, he's going to be able to constantly do, well, a lot of damage to buildings. Raiders, however, are going to get taken out as well. There goes another slow. Archmage may get to level 6. No, it does not. Still about, what, 37 experience shy, as the Spirit Wolves are now going to retreat back. Spirit Wolves can stick around very closely here, wait for the Spellbreakers to go away, and then start attacking those buildings. They have natural invisibility, and as long as a flying machine is not overhead, they will not be spotted. All right, more long distance mining still happening for these peons going back and forth. Actually, not many peons left. That's a lot of peons currently harvesting lumber, sitting on 1,500 lumber, as that peon still, well, perhaps going to try and, well, get another base going here in just a moment. Can't get any more insane than that. Lingua from a couple of weeks ago. Sent you a substitution game. All right, I'll see if I have time to cast it. Archmage sitting at level 5 once more. Peon still doing a little bit of long distance mining. Water Elemental in position to cause a little bit of harassment once more. Tauren Chieftain wandering around here. We are looking at a little bit, a little bit of a stalemate right now. No one really has the ability to really pressure their opponent into a battle, and no one can really build up a large enough army, since all of the gold mines are pretty much are unmineable for both sides. No gold mine here. This gold mine doesn't have a town hall next to it, so Ze1Ko will not be getting any more gold. 31 supply compared to 33. And it's going to come down to who can catch their opponent in a better position. DeMiGoD going to go ahead and try to dive on in with that peon over here. It's going to, well, go after that lumber there, get taken out. Archmage still sitting at, well, just shy of level 6 once more, as it is at 1976, 24 experience from getting mass teleport. once the human player has mass teleport and is able to get around the map so quickly and easily, any sort of harassment strategy that DeMiGoD was hoping for will basically be shut down. We are looking at perhaps a couple of shockwaves to try and take down some of these buildings. Again, are we looking at Scrolls of Town Portal? We do have a Scroll of Town Portal, and in we go, trying to get some of that damage. Tauren Chieftain is going to line up and get in some damage across multiple buildings. Yes, we are. There goes a little bit of damage. There's one shockwave. Is it going to stick around for 4 seconds and try to do it again? No, as we're looking at all of the sentry wards actually keeping track of where that army is. Tauren Chieftain could actually get a big shockwave off on all of these units. There it goes. A chain lightning doing quite a bit of damage and finishing off, well, 2 casters right there. Tauren Chieftain now looking to escape away. Mountain King with Boot of Speed. However, Scroll of Speed counteracting the slow right there, as the Endurance Aura on the Tauren Chieftain also doing a little bit of a run. All right, the Spirit Wolves purposely trying to run back at the Mountain King, cause him a little bit of delay, not allow him to get off that necessary Stormbolt. Okay, Orc and all of the sentry wards is actually what's allowing DeMiGoD to do these hit and run tactics. By the time Ze1Ko tries to come back the other way to perhaps find his opponent, DeMiGoD knows which way to duck, dive, and what just rotate in and out of. We are looking at the Spellbreaker here with plenty of mana, and well, that's going to be an issue, as the Spellbreaker would all of a sudden just control magic, and if it does do exactly that, the Spellbreaker would end up having invisible units of his own that can keep track of everything on the map. Witch Doctors do not have adept training at all, no mastery training either, no tech to tier 3. Sentry wards are all across the map to keep track of any invisible Mountain Kings, as there are plenty of sorceresses around as another peon bites the dust. Ze1Ko sitting at 27 supply compared to 30. Overall supply very even, as we're looking at the Mountain King and Archmage. Now Archmage is at level 6. Mass teleport is going to be a very big issue, as the Tauren Chieftain going to run down in here, perhaps get a shockwave off on all of these buildings. There he goes, gets the shockwave off, finishes off one building. There's the control magic, as there goes that Spellbreaker there. Units are trying to run back. Tauren Chieftain, well, gonna stay behind with that Farseer. There goes a shockwave trying to get in some damage, but unable to do it anymore, as the Mountain King will be able to get a Stormbolt on this Raider to finish him off. Doesn't even need the Stormbolt on the Raider. Instead, the slow is gonna finish him off, as the Mountain King trying to make ground and get in front of that Tauren Chieftain. However, Mountain King running off in the wrong direction, as the Farseer and the Tauren Chieftain have just been trying to out-juke their opponent. 17 supply compared to 23 in terms of army. Stormbolt onto that Farseer. Farseer in that frontline spot, and there is a Thunderclap as well, slowing down both units. Mountain King could perhaps throw another Stormbolt, using that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability to get away with the Healing Salve, as the Mountain King is at level 6. Oh, there goes a Stormbolt. This is level 3 Stormbolt. Did not go for Avatar, so went for level 3, and that Mountain King has plenty of mana. Scroll of Town Portal being used right there, as you're going to see a Stormbolt go down, but the Tauren Chieftain is taken back home. More gold adding in. Ze1Ko down to 24 supply compared to 29. Units are slowly being trained, as this long walk of shame of all of these peons mining every bit of gold that it possibly can. All right, more healing salves. No Scroll of Town Portal to save themselves any longer. DeMiGoD is in trouble. Is he going to be able to finish off these units? Chain Lightning plus Shockwave needs to deal large amounts of damage to those casters for DeMiGoD to really have a chance. That sudden burst of damage along that back line may be enough, as we're looking at the Archmage, Mountain King, and Spellbreakers now making their way forward. All right, Spirit Wolf is going to be trying to dive on in on the backside here. One Peasant repairing all of these buildings, needing to keep all of these buildings alive, and well, as the peons are going to be, well, retreating back here, perhaps jumping into some Orc burrows. We're looking at the Spirit Wolves finishing off perhaps another building down to the south. Where are the heroes? Where is DeMiGoD's heroes at this point? Don't see them on the mini map. There's a Raider. Are they in a anywhere? Yep, they are in a Goblin Zeppelin just hanging out. All right, they are just simply hanging out. There's that mass teleport now. Archmage teleporting back down to the south. Where did the Spirit Wolves go? As all of the units are now backing away again. So far, one Water Elemental hanging out in between. Are we going to be looking at long distance mining? Plenty of peons inside the burrows just hanging out right now. 11 workers and 13 supply army 2 heroes and a lone raider. All right. No side trying to jump the gun at all. Ze1Ko has not mined any gold for what seems like the past 10 plus minutes. Meanwhile, DeMiGoD unable to stabilize himself as the Archmage with mass teleport pretty much being anywhere he wants to be. Sentry wards should be coming to an end down over here. Spirit Wolves going after, Spirit Wolves trying to go after each other again. This Spirit Wolf trying to go after the other Spirit Wolf indeed. Not able to do very much as this Peasant actually hidden on the backside there. Critical strike coming down to the end there. All right, are we going to get new Spirit Wolves to be summoned? Yes, 2 fresh new Spirit Wolves going to be making their way over. This Spellbreaker going to be in a little bit of trouble. These Spirit Wolves, and I guess that's one way to get around it. The Spellbreaker now currently actually low on mana. The Spirit Wolves could actually take down that Spellbreaker with no real problem and finish off another unit, which would be very important. Meanwhile, back off to the north, in comes another mass teleport. Where are they going to perhaps try and go? Teleporting to that Shadow Wolf right there. Mountain King is invisible. Wants to line up a Stormbolt. Will not be able to do exactly that. The Burrows, DeMiGoD just hiding all of those units right inside there. All right. Every decision, every hit point, matters so much. Your positioning makes such a big difference. The Spellbreaker could actually just get taken out. There is not enough mana on the Spellbreaker to execute a control magic. You have easy access to finish off a unit. Are we going to see a mass teleport? Yes, we are. Coming back down, and Ze1Ko is trying to constantly get into position, but mana is not free. Well, mana is free, but mana is not infinite. Every time he mass teleports in order to get into a better location, he ends up Stormbolt right there onto a Shadow Wolf. It's going to get taken down pretty fast. There is another farm off over here. Is there one Peasant? Yes, there is. And there is still plenty of repairing to go. Human low on mana. Who would have thought? Well, that is the problem right now. Archmage, with only level 2 Brilliance Aura, cannot cast Mass Teleport, Water Elementals as much as he wants, as the Flying Machine now going after that Goblin Zeppelin there. All right, Farseer of Scroll of Speed is going to be able to finish off that. Is it going to be able to finish off that Flying Machine? One more shot, it finishes it off, and now going to try and run away. The Goblin Zeppelin with enough speed to head back out. Thank you for the follow, and still this game nowhere near done. DeMiGoD still trying to mine more and more gold as much as it can with, what is that, 9 workers just mining a very, very long distance. Water Elemental now rotating its way over. A Tauren Chieftain and a Farseer trying to lead this army as best as it can. As we're looking at the Mountain King, currently invisible, wandering around. These sentry wards will not last forever, and I do not believe there are any more witch doctors for DeMiGoD at this point. Or is there one more witch doctor somewhere? All right, Peon's trying to get away. Invisible Peon is right here. I guess this one invisible Peon going to be incredibly important if it tries to build any additional last-minute farms. There is another mass teleport again. All right, coming back down to the south here, Spirit Wolf trying to finish off some more of those units, getting taken out once more. Spellbreaker unable to control magic in time, and now you can see only a handful of buildings are left as this Peasant is trying to go to work to repair the buildings. Meanwhile, going back down to the south, he's actually going to shift his location in where he is mining and doing the long distance mining. There you go. Gonna go ahead and pick them up in and we'll send them on their way out. Meanwhile, the Goblin Zeppelin does have 2 heroes inside still, and there is the Witch Doctor down around the map still trying to keep track of all of these invisible units. Mountain King heading off to the north here. Spirit Wolves getting in some free damage. How are they spotting these Shadow Wolves right now? Nope, able to slip on by again. Finishing off perhaps this one Peasant would be a good idea, but does not want to allow those Spirit Wolves to be controlled. All right, new Spirit Wolves being dropped back in, unless something crazy like the Island Tower happens. That's true. Some pretty slick moves. All right. Mountain King gonna move on over here. Is he spotted right there? Are there anything in those orc burrows? There's a lone raider right here. Orc burrows are completely all empty. Mountain King just getting a free sightseeing tour once more. And it looked like there was a shockwave going through some of those units, and then control magic being used right then and there. The Spellbreakers now with lower mana. What are they going to try and do here? As we are looking at a water elemental shifting over, perhaps getting to the other side. Mountain King now seeing a little bit of long distance mining from the other gold mine. Perhaps going to finish off some of these peons right here. Perhaps going to land a thunderclap. There you go, slowing down 3 peons. And Mountain King going to be able to finish off more and more of these units again. All right, trying to finish off these peons. Peons back-breaking labor to try and get every bit of gold out of these gold mines, but it does not seem to be working well. Meanwhile, Spirit Wolves off to the north here. Ze1Ko has no more gold, not going to be able to do any more repairs, and that is incredibly important. All right, Shadow Wolves. All right, Goblin Zeppelin. Are we going to see the Tauren Chieftain? There's a Chain Lightning ripping on through as the damage does bounce around quite a little bit. All right, damage going after those. Go after that unit there. There's a mass. Well, where is that Staff of Teleportation? Mountain King shows back up to the party as all of those units are backing away. Chain Lightning trying to go down to finish off some of these priests and these sorceresses. And once the priest and sorceresses is lost, all of that healing is pretty much gone. And that is going to be a very, very negative impact as well. All right, is there any more workers for DeMiGoD? DeMiGoD has one more worker, and that is it. Tauren Chieftain, well, pretty low on mana. Who's going to come out on top, as mana is the resource that the players are able to get right now. 0 gold compared to 8 gold right now. Not even enough gold to, well, not even 1 bag of gold. That peon wants to rebuild the entire army once more. All right, back down to the south. All right, there goes a Troll Witch Doctor. It's finally taking out a full 10 supply army or 11 supply army, now going up against 22. Shockwave coming on through. Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, well, it gets picked up and now going to retreat. There's some more control magic. And I think it comes down to the fact that these Spellbreakers were earlier on when DeMiGoD had the opportunity to attack the Spellbreaker, even though when they didn't have mana, he didn't do it. If he had actually taken out these Spellbreakers, the control magic scenario would not be in such a bad spot. Coming back off to the north, though, Spirit Wolves now wandering around here. And, well, in terms of who is closer to winning, DeMiGoD is actually further from losing just because he has more buildings. Coming back across here, you can see there's not many buildings left in Ze1Ko's base at all. He is completely revealed. Archmage Sorceress trying to get across over here. They spot the Goblin Zeppelin. We're going to see a mass or a teleport come down in from that Mountain King as the Spirit Wolves finishing off, well, one of those. Is it going to finish off a farm? Yes, it finishes off a farm and is now invisible, going after another barracks here. All right, every little bit of hit points matters so much right now. Spellbreakers wandering back. There's Invisible Sorceress as well as the Goblin Zeppelin. Where is it? Off to the side here. Difficult to keep track of. If human caps, he gets a draw. Yeah, like, can you actually get a... I don't know if you can actually get allowed a draw in WarCraft 3, right? At this point in the game, well, Ze1Ko knows that he does not want to lose. He doesn't want to make a move and try and run back out. Mountain King can run off to the other side of the map, just start attacking as much as he can. Are we going to see control magic? There's some dispel magic. Arcane Sanctum, double control magic right there, as the Spellbreakers are now, well, a little bit low on mana. A shockwave just dropping in from the sky would take down this Arcane Sanctum, and now, well, these 3 buildings very close together would continue to take more and more damage. Off on the other side, is the Mountain King going to try to run off over there and, well, take down those buildings by themselves, as the Spirit Wolves have quite a bit of distance to travel to get to the other neck of the woods. Sorceress keeping track of the Spirit Wolves right now as they're making their way in. Tauren Chieftain still has plenty of mana. we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain. It could be dropped off right here. And then, well, what is going down? Spirit Wolves, thank you for the follow. Spirit Wolf down across to the south here. Arcane Sanctum could get taken down, as we're going to see. Well, there goes that shockwave across all of those units once more. And, well, that's 300 damage represented as another Arcane Sanctum gets taken out. Oh, building after building is getting lost. Mountain King is invisible right there. And, well, mana is key right now. One flying machine would make the difference between victory and defeat, as this Goblin Zeppelin Micro, or not even, I wouldn't even say Goblin Zeppelin Micro, these constant drops with that Tauren Chieftain is really starting to take a toll. These three buildings all lined up so closely together, representing almost 360 damage per shockwave. That is the main issue. All right, no more workers. That's the problem right now for DeMiGoD. He doesn't have a way to get any workers. There's a Mantle of Intelligence and a Healing Salve. That is all he has left to try and get gold. Archmage is going to hold off over here, as we're looking at the Shadow Wolves putting pressure on the barracks again. All right, barracks having that pressure off to the side. They're going to back away, and the Archmage, well, this is going to turn into a really strange spot here. All right, Farseer, well, nope, doesn't want to drop in. Mountain King there, and the Goblin Zeppelin cannot be repaired either. There is another set of control magic, but the Spellbreakers are now finally low on mana. With them being low on mana, if the Farseer just simply waits, he should be able to start actually dealing damage to the buildings again. And here you are, trying to deal damage to these buildings, down to 428 hit points, and still dropping fairly fast as the units are now trying to back up again. Shadow Wolf trying to slip its way through. Double Water Elementals are in position. A little bit of extra damage as that Shadow Wolf is down to 181 hit points. Farseer. Well, Farseer is right there. Are we going to see a Shockwave? Yeah, Shockwave going down onto that barracks right there. Mountain King unable to get into the right position as the Water Elementals were trying to go after those Spirit Wolves. Spellbreakers still don't have that much mana. One Spellbreaker is trying to stay close to that Archmage for more and more mana here. One Invisible Sorceress trying to scout out all of this information. And information and positioning is absolutely key. And interesting thing to note, if the Archmage is invisible, none of the other units actually get Brilliance Aura. And with that, with none of the units getting Brilliance Aura, well, the Spellbreakers are not going to have enough mana for control magics constantly. Now, here comes another scenario. As Ze1Ko is losing more and more buildings, he is in a position where he only has to defend a smaller and growing smaller and smaller number. There's control magic once more as the Spirit Wolf down to 75 hit points. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, teleport coming in across Archmage. Mountain King trying to get back off to the north here. Is the Goblin Zeppelin going to be able to get there in time? That Zeppelin is down to 287 hit points as we're looking at the sorceresses and everything down across here to try and protect. All right, Blacksmith down to 340. We're going to see a little bit of damage. Mass Teleport going to be coming in. A lot of damage onto that Blacksmith right here. We should be seeing a dropping of the Goblin Zeppelin here to try and line up a shockwave across those two buildings. And then both of those buildings would be in the sub-100 range right there. There goes a shockwave. And we are now down to 35 hit points on that Blacksmith. All right, at this point, all the Tauren Chieftain needs to do is drop out of the sky, land a shockwave, and that will be it. The Goblin Zeppelin... Ze1Ko just destroying his own building right there at the end, saying, you know what? I'm going to die on my own terms. And that is the end of that. I wouldn't say that's a rage quit. I think no, that's I would say that's a frustration quit. He knows that he's gonna lose. Once that Tauren Chieftain gets up to enough mana, a shockwave would be enough to finish the game. And well, DeMiGoD actually mining 6,000 more gold than his opponent, but still almost losing the game as Ze1Ko had dual level 6 heroes, but still was not enough to finish off his opponent. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.